Hey guys, welcome to my next vlog on The Haunting of Hill House. We're talking about episode 7, Eulogy. And in this episode, we deal with the family, the Cranes having to take part in the funeral of their sister who has died, and a lot of drama happens, and this episode particularly focuses a lot on the father, Hugh Crane, played by both Elliot from E.T. and Timothy Hutton, who both do a terrific job in this episode. I think this episode, unlike any of the others, really delves into his mind. He's been a likable guy in the flashbacks for a while, and then just a empty shell of a person that's been through so much in the previous episode. And here I think we really get into a bit of his psychosis a little bit. We understand a little bit about him and like how he's dealing with grief, especially in the present timeline. We see him basically talking to his dead wife as a coping mechanism. And I think this episode deals a lot with how people cope with grief. They project people into their lives that are gone and talk to them. And I think that's a really interesting way that the show has gone with. And I also just really like the family dynamic in this episode, how hard it is when siblings fight or disagree with each other, and just how much family drama can break up a family a little bit. I also really am intrigued by the flashback scenes that take place in the 90s when the kids were young. Um, there's this moment in there's this one central moment in the series that something happened long ago, and we never really get an answer to anything. And here we don't get any answers either, but it feels like a lead up to eventual answers, and it's just such good build up that you just want to watch the next episode as soon as you finish this episode. Like, I was about to start the next episode right before I did started this vlog, just because I was so ready. I was so invested in what was happening. There's just great material in this show. Everything is just pin perfect, just fantastically written, directed, acted. It all just really comes together and works. This episode isn't as good as the previous episodes. I think this is probably the weakest, but it has one of the strongest endings of all the episodes so far. So there is that. There's not really anything too horrific in this episode. There's not like a whole bunch of horror until near the end. It's definitely more just a character piece of how a person deals with grief, and I really like that. I really love the focus on Timothy Hutton and Elliot in this episode. I think that's something we really needed, because that's the one character that, though we've seen a lot of, we haven't focused on enough. And I think he is probably the most interesting character, because he's hiding a lot of secrets. There's some stuff that he just doesn't want to tell, or maybe he can't tell. And overall, this is just a really good episode. That's not as good as the rest, but it's fantastic nonetheless, and I can't wait to watch the next episode. As you can tell, I'm really tired, so I'm just going to finish up this vlog and say if you haven't watched this show, watch it now. It's fantastic. And this episode is just another really good one in a fantastic series. So, anyway, guys, with all that said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog.